Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on out there? So yeah, sorry about the little bit of the delay, guys. Had 3 people that decided to stop by without any kind of notification. So yeah, because I don't have a job, and they feel that they should be able to come by anytime they feel like it, knowing that I'm not doing anything. So, yo, what up, what's going on, party people? Orange Army, yo, 10 coin, State in, John Germain, Crypto McHale, yo, what's up going on? Got Crypto World. I went long as a Chinese ching chong. I have no idea what that means, but so what's going on, everybody? I see we got Pez in the house. We got Bretton Matthews. Yo, what's up? I'm glad you liked the intro. It's a sick intro from dogelord.com. Don't delay, buy today. dogelord.com, where you get awesome hats like this one. Yo. Little update for you guys. I've got both of my E3 Antminers mining on that ETC. That's why we all know that the E3 Antminers, and more than likely the InnoSilicon A10 and A10 Pro for the Ethash algorithm, are also not ASICs, guys. They are going to be basically SoC chips with memory modules, aka a cheap GPU that's not a GPU, but it's a GPU because it's tricking the system to thinking it's a GPU. Yo. So it's nothing really special, but I'm able to get 400 mega hash between my 2 E3 Antminers. During the updates of the firmware, they did implement a way to be able to overclock them, but with the ETC hash patches that go up on there, it basically disables that functionality. I haven't been able to basically overclock mine whatsoever, so there's that. Yeah. So unfortunately, there's no real way to really fix the E3 Antminers overclockability. Those days are now done. It's hard capped. It kind of floats between like 191 to 210 mega hash. It fluctuates just like a GPU does. There's no set in stone hash rate on it. But that's the little short stick of the what's going on with the E3s. As we know that's kind of profitable right now. You know, you're looking at $6-7 a day for 2 E3s. You got no electric costs, so like you got free power, then you're going to be looking at exponentially more profitability. I'm hoping that my electric rate starts coming down a little bit, because I did switch my electric plan over. If you guys would like to hear about that one, let me know. Put comments in down below, and all that good stuff, or just let me know if you would like to know about my power utilization, because I just got put on a new plan. I might talk about it once I get the my first couple of bills. This way I know about where my power usage is actually going to be moving forward. So what's going on, Alex? Hey, what's going on, Pocket Change? What up? See, I'm just like, yeah, I know, I'm live, YouTube. I know this. You don't need to tell me that. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is the type of day I'm having. First world problems, right? Like the title says, let's go ahead and fix this Gaming X Trio's thermal issues. So the problem that I'm having is that it won't go above 204 watts. Will not go any further. I'm also probably going to do another live stream tomorrow because I'm curious about this EVGA 3080 because of the fact that I'm like missing 1 or 2 mega hash on this thing. I think I should be getting 98, 99 mega hash a second on my EVGA for the Win 3. It does not look like I'm getting that. One of the updates on this thing started making the 3080, the overclock work better, I guess. And it became destabilized. It was shutting down my 3090 rig like crazy. So I eventually took it off my 3090 rig. That's got a 3090 with two 3060 Ti's. I put it onto a pure 3080 rig, and guess what? That rig too started having issues. Go figure, right? So today I want to start off with pulling apart the MSI Gaming Trio, redoing the thermal paste on it, taking off the thermal pads off of this bad boy, and basically getting this thing to actually hash better. At least the E3 are hashing better than collecting dust. You know it, man. You absolutely know it. It actually makes the E3 worth running. So, without any further ado, guys, so here is my 3080 rig. As you can see, here is the MSI Gaming Trio. We're at 92.33 mega hash. Temperature's really not that bad, 47 degrees on the VGA core. As you see here, I got a power limit of 230 watts, and we're only using 203 of it. So it's clearly ignoring me, and the only thing that would make me know that it's ignoring me, that would make it ignore me, is if it was thermal throttling somewhere. So we're going to go ahead, rip this bad boy apart, and see what's going on. I want to see the back plate on here, see if there's any thermal pads on this back plate. See about the thermal pads on the back plate, all that good stuff, if they even put any back there, and we'll go ahead and replace them with something better. I have a box of goodies here. So I've got Arctic thermal pads. These ones are the 1 millimeter. Yeah, 1 millimeter thickness. I've got MX4 compound. I've also got -8 pads, and these are also the 1 millimeter. I've also got Thermal Grizzly Hydronaut. It's got some pretty damn good performance on it too. And then I just got more 1 millimeter pads, because 1 millimeter thick pads are typically the norm of what you'll need. You can stack these bad boys if needed. I just wouldn't go beyond 3 millimeters on these pads. After 3 millimeters, the pads themselves start acting like an insulator, and it's not so much of a heat transfer device. So we're going to go ahead and take stuff apart and go from there. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shut down the 3080 rig right now. Confirm. Shut that bad boy down. It'll take me a couple of seconds here to just waiting for it to actually, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and grab the card off because it's been hashing this whole time. So this will be the first time that this MSI Gaming Trio is coming off of my rig while it's at home. So 1 second, guys. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. So this back plate is nice and warm. It feels like a plastic back plate, really, with a lot of screws on it. So we'll be pulling this bad boy apart. It'll be the first time I'm taking apart one of the MSIs. I've taken apart a 3090, but not one of the 3080s as of yet. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what I'm going to find underneath all of this. What's actually connected to coolers, what's not. So this will be a first. I'm never taking one of these ones apart. So let's go ahead and pull out my little toolkit. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and try to separate the cooler. We're going to find out what it takes to actually separate this cooler first. So let's go ahead and dig on in. Don't worry about this void warranty sticker. It doesn't apply here in the United States. And with the spring clamp, I would just take it off a little at a time. There's one, there's two, there's three, and four. Now, I have no idea how much of this back plate needs to come off, but I need to take the whole back plate off anyway, so, and I think this probably is a little too big on this screw. Let me grab another screwdriver here. Let's see if I got a one that fits these better. Yeah, here we go. Damn, there's a lot of screws on this back plate. I have no idea if they've put any thermal pads onto this back plate or not. No clue. And we do have a few on these back plate. Alright, so I want to pull these screws off of here. Just because I want to be able to turn this thing over without losing any screws. And I'm kind of putting these screws down according to how I'm popping them up. Yeah, they kind of look like they're all the same. Alright, so, but bam. We have our thermal pads here. So it looks like they did put it all the way around this thing. which is nice. So they got it all on this part. They're cooling down here and down here, which is fine. So it looks like they are at about 2 millimeters, maybe 2.5. So what I'm doing real quick here, I'm just sizing up my thermal pads real fast. Oh, so I don't have the right thermal pads for the back. I'm gonna have to order up some more thermal pads. Baller. So it looks like some of the reports that I was hearing is correct. So I'm gonna have to get like, I almost want to get a, let me get my micrometer real quick. I want to measure this pad off while I've got it apart. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, so got a little micrometer here. So I want to measure, let's see if I can pull up one of these without damaging it. Here we go. Let's get this into millimeters. So we are 2.7. I don't know if my thing will show this, but 2.72 millimeters on this. So that is a really goofy measurement on it. Whoever that is can wait 1 moment. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to change out the back thermal pads because, yeah, I need to get another variety of them. Basically, I'm going to want to get a, man, I gotta hunt around, see if I can get custom ones of these, because, yeah, that's not cool. I mean, I could put a 3 millimeter down onto this, but I'd rather order a 3 millimeter then. But if I can find one that is closer to what this is, I'm gonna do that. So, it looks like all I'm gonna be able to do is re-thermal the chip itself, but I will be able to do something else, because I believe some of this is for power here and some of this is for memory control. So I'm going to drop a thermal pad down over here before I button this up. I think that'll help a little bit. Don't know. Like I said, I've never played with one of these cards as of yet. And I know I've got all the I know I've got all the screws out of that. I'm going to want to take these two front bracket screws off also. Alright, so that should be all the screws on this thing. I should be able to just separate it now. That's in a perfect world. So also there's fan connectors. I tend to take them off first. If at all possible. I try to take all the connectors that I can get off initially. This one, there's one down in here I can't get my hands on, maybe with a pair of tweezers, but let's see what happens. Hey, there we go. I can flip this bad boy over here. Wow. So it looks like we've already got sweating on this chipset. Let's go ahead and take this off. Alright, cool. Yeah, it does feel like hard plastic. I mean, this is still plastic, man. It's just maybe a different type of plastic, but yeah, this is not metal. It might be like a composite, but you can tell that this is definitely like a plastic-ish material. We shall see what I can do with this. I don't know if there's anything I might be able to do. I mean, it looks like they thought about, hey, we need to cool the PCB down a little bit here. And definitely these thermal pads that are on the memory modules, they're oily, dude. Oh my god, that's like disgustingly oily. And I can use my 1mm pad. So I'm going to change out the thermal pads for the VR, for the memory on here. But damn, these things are like disgusting oil. Oh yeah. I'm not happy with what MSI put on here. It's like, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, look at that. They don't even, the cold plate here has little holes in it, so it's not even contacting it properly. Oh, come on, MSI. You put some cheap-ass fucking thermal pads on here. That's oily than all get out. And then you don't even... That's just wrong, MSI. Come on. The bottom one I had a pad here and I had a pad up here. And like I said, I was also going to test out my little plate that I was going to do, and it looks like, oh yeah, this will fit perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to have to lap this to make sure this is flat, and then I can try to get the engraving off of this. That will be another video, because I can feel that, like, my nail catches on the engraving a little bit. Alright, and I need some alcohol pads so I can clean that up. Alright, let's go ahead and give you a little cleaning here. Clean off the oil residue off of this nastiness here. That's kind of disgusting. And I know some people will get triggered. I'll use my nice shirt here to kind of give the VGA chip a little polish. Okay, so we got the GA102-200-KD81. Alright. Put this off to the side for one moment here, and we can go over all of this too. And I want to wipe down my memory on there, because there is a nasty amount of oil on this stuff. Alright. Go ahead and alright, cool. So we got all of our power management right here. We've got the cheaper SP caps instead of the MLCCs here. So basically, the way that this is broken up, power delivery wise, is this is for core, this is for core, this is for memory, this is for memory, and same thing with this. The bottom one here is for memory, and then all of these are for core. Like 4 of these here, these 3 here or 4 here are for the core, uncore, core, and uncore. So they're basically pulling power going into the center. You need the power delivery to all your memory modules to be the same or as close as possible. So if this one memory module down here was the furthest away, all the rest of the memory will be dumbed down to the speed that this one memory module runs at. That's why they try to pull them as close to the VGA core itself. One thing I do notice though is that this memory module here is actually further away than all the rest of them. This one down here is the closest. So I don't know why they would do it this way. It seems a little strange to me. And do we have numbers on this? I'm trying to read the memory on this. Come on. Oh, can't read it. Let me see if I can get a flashlight on this. Maybe I can see this a little bit better. So 0TT77 D8G or D8BGW. I do know that this is Micron. So we got Micron memory modules here for sure. And oh wow, this little piece comes off. It was hiding some more SP caps that they're trying to use this piece to bring power through, pull heat through onto the cooler. Weird. Super strange. I wonder how much of a pain in the butt this is going to be to reline up. Interesting. So this is some really cool stuff. Here are the power shunts for each rail, and there should be one down here. Yep. So these shunts, you can add shunts to these and trick the power management to think you're utilizing less power through this. There's a power shunt over here. That's for the PCIe. Never mess with this one. You don't want to overload your PCIe. It was never made to run more than 75 watts. If I put another shunt resistor onto that shunt resistor here, I can trick it and make it pull about 150 watts. There's no PCIe that will survive that, unfortunately. So guys, don't do that. Don't play with this one. If you're going to do any kind of extreme overclocking, it's going to be these bad boys. So you're going to shunt mod. You can probably do it to all of these and get the whole overall card to use about, I think it's using half the wattage. This way you can actually push more voltage to it for when you're running it under LN2. You have more available power. So that's some of the stuff that I will be doing whenever I get to a point of doing extreme overclocking and all that good stuff. Let's see here. We can go ahead and put this off to the side now, and we can go ahead and take a look at all of this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 heat pipes on this bad boy, and you can see that they've flattened them out and then tried to smooth them out. Even this, I can feel the copper coils in between. Like my finger, I'm not even dragging my nail across it, and I'm kind of catching all the little grooves on there. Some of the reasons why you got to use thermal paste, I get that, but I shouldn't. This to me, I think, should be flatter. Even if they just put a copper plate over this, and then soldered them all into place with a copper cold plate over this, I think would have done a far better job than just this. But that's me. It's like I understand that I'm not the typical person. All right. And I can go ahead and start applying some of my Alright, so bam, we got one memory module that's now covered. I'm almost wanting to put just the minus 8 pad on here. Should I do the minus 8 pad? Or should I do the Arctic? Which one do you guys think that I should use? The Thermal Grizzly or the Arctic? Arctic or Thermal Grizzly? The -8s or the non-8s? Which one do you guys think I should use? Oh, you didn't? You want me to do that one? Sure. Since I have it right here. Have it in millimeters. And I've got 1 millimeter on it. So the ones on the memory modules themselves are 1 millimeter. Temperature pocket change. So the temperature on this is 6 watts per meter Kelvin, and these ones are 8 watts per meter Kelvin. So 6 watts per meter Kelvin or 8 watts per meter Kelvin. Which one do you guys think I should use? I'll let you guys decide. We got Joe that says the Thermal Grizzly. We got one for the Thermal Grizzly. How about the rest of you guys? Which one would you guys use? I have them both. These are the ones that I've used on all my 1070s and 1070 Ti's and my 3080s. And my RX 580 Asus ROG Strix. These ones I've never used on anything, actually. You want the 8, huh? The -8s. We got 2 for this one. Ooh, opening it up for the first time. I've never even put my hands on one of these before. Ooh, it's pink. It's pink. One side's smooth, the other side's textured. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, everything's been working great. I love my my Arctic pads. We'll go ahead and we'll try it with these. Test something new. All right. The crowd has spoken. So we're going to go ahead and forgot my scissors. Got my skizzers. All right. Right. Perfect. right, perfect, perfect. Oh, too small, too small. Right. I dropped it. Ugh. All right. So there is that. Awesome. So now we've got the -8 pads on here. Now, oop. I had the wrong. Hey, what's up, Jason? All right, so as we can see, I've got the -8 pads now over the memory modules, which is fine. It looks like I got -8 pads here that are factory. These look like the Arctic, and then these look like those cheap oily pads. I want to say this one's definitely a 1mm dude, but I don't see these being as crucial. Because these are cooling down the SP caps. And then this is cooling down the power delivery rail. And then this is touching the other that was cooling down the SP caps that are underneath here. So these ones are cooling down these. This one's cooling down this stuff. And then this pad here is cooling down this bracket here, which has got another pad underneath it to cool the SP caps underneath it down. Weird. Joe, you say change it? Well, let me measure it, make sure that I've got the right size for this. There's no point on changing anything if I do not possess the right size. Hey now, it doesn't want to come up nicely. Okay, so this one doesn't want to come up nice. Yeah, these ones don't want to come up nice. So, alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to experiment this way until I get other pads. I'm going to worry about the memory modules. We're going to redo the thermal paste on here. I'm going to put thermal grizzly paste on this. And see how this thing wants to react afterwards. If not, if it doesn't want to react the way that I want it to, I'll order up the other thermal pads that I know I'm going to need, and we will redo all of it except for the memory modules that I just covered, since I know that these ones are now badass thermal pads. So, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get some thermal grizzly all over this bad boy. And because this is non-conductive, it doesn't matter how much you put on. I'm going to go ahead and plug these in before I get to that point where I need to plug them in. Because I know that these will be a... Oh, I touched it. No. Alright, those are in. Let the fun begin now. There we go. Gonna go ahead and put this back together. Go ahead and secure this, little turns at a time. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing back together. Alright, let's get the front 2 screws in place too. Without dropping any of these little itty bitty screws at all. As I drop one of them. Awesome. I'll find that in just a second. I think I know where it drops. Alright, so now I gotta find the one screw I just dropped. I think it fell straight down. We'll find out in just a second here. Come on. Got it. I found the screw. No screw left unturned. There we go. Back together. All right. So, that would be interesting. I could try that in another time. I'd have to figure out what to do about it because the back plate also goes into the cooler a little bit. The screws that go through here. So I'd almost have to find replacement screws that were shorter so that I could still attach the cooler properly on here. Because I've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 screws on the back here that are definitely holding the cold plate onto this. So yeah, I might have to get like different screws for it. But let's go see how this thing hashes. So I'm going to be putting it back on. Oop, wrong screen. I'm going to put it back up onto here and get this thing hashing once again. So let me put it onto the rig. I'll be right back. Cool, cool. We got lights, camera, action. Now let's see if this thing listens to my overclocks. Because if I can get 230 watts out of this thing now, Booyah. See how long it takes to boot back up here. Alright, so it's now seeing it booting back up here. Not too promising that so maybe so. We've got 77 watts. These other two are higher wattage on idle. Made no difference on how much wattage it was using. So I'm gonna have to order up some more thermal pads here of different thicknesses. So I'm gonna get 2 millimeter. I'm gonna get 0.5 millimeter and 2.5 millimeter. Damn. Ain't that about a bitch. But I am getting a little bit more mega hash out of it. It was at 92. We are now at 94. So I've gained 2 mega hash by doing this. The temperature on the VGA core is a little better. I mean, it just started, granted. But I did gain 2 whole mega hash. So now I wonder... That's just weird that it's not letting me get full power on this fucking card. I do not get it. Other than the other thermal pads just are not good enough. So, in the next week or so, I'm going to get better thermal pads. See, it's thermal throttling right now as we see it. I just lost a full mega hash. So I gained 1 mega hash for putting on new thermal paste and new thermal pads. Nice. Very weird. No, I don't actually. I do not get full power at default clocks. This has been a problem with this MSI Gaming Trio. I'm trying to get it to perform better, but it refuses. I do not understand why, but the only thing I can think of is that those other thermal pads are just junk. Other than maybe running this thing without a backplate on there, maybe it could help. I doubt it, but I would almost sit there and say I bet you it's more into those thermal pads, because we've got 3 different thermal pads that are 3 different kinds of thermal pads in the pads that I didn't touch. No, Silicon Lottery would be like this one card. I can boost it, I can overclock it a little harder than all the rest. That would be a Silicon Lottery winner. I'd get 1 extra mega hash out of it. But these were all 3080s. I should be relatively in the same ballpark. I should be around 97 mega hash. But the MSI refuses to give me more power. That's either the BIOS on that card is through software limiting the power on it, or it's thermal throttling. I'm gonna bet, and I wonder if it's a little of both. I wonder if this is a little of both, because it should be giving me more power. And even if I sit there and I crank it, like, I want 300 watts, give it to me. So I legitimately just put in 300 watts. This card should be able to do 320 watts. And I will give it a moment to see what it won't do. Really, Chancoin, so you've already tried to go down this route and it didn't help. Damn. Because it just thermal throttled the rest of the way. I've got it commanded at 300 watts, and I'm getting 202 at 91.75 megahash. I'm gonna have to get more thermal pads. So I might not be making another GPU video, me trying to fix this for a week or so. Because, yeah, it's kind of hard to try to get these thermal pads. There's nobody locally. I kind of want to stick with the Thermal Grizzly, even though it's a little bit more expensive. But I'd rather do Thermal Grizzly than try to get these... yeah, I want something that's got a better watt per meter Kelvin. So 8 watts per meter Kelvin versus 6. I'll take it. Yeah, cry. I know this gaming trio. I'm not happy with it actually. I mean, it hashes, but it's not worth it. Joe, no, I cannot. I'm running this on Linux, so I do not. I'm running Hive OS on it. I could, I do have a Windows copy here on this hard drive that I do have hardware info on and some miners loaded up on there. Maybe I can do a video on that this week. See what's going on with it. I could do that. It won't be today, though. Yeah, the only thing I can sit there and think of is that I gotta crack it open and just replace all the thermal pads in there, and then add a couple of thermal pads into a couple of different areas. I forgot to do so, but I don't think that that's particularly the issue at this point. So I will order, and I know I don't have the right thickness pads to do this, so it'll probably be next week. I'll try to order the pads up in the next day or two. This way I can do that info. Maybe I'll do another video of me tossing that rig onto Windows and taking a look at hardware info for you. Yeah, and I agree with you on that one, Joe. That it seems like it's not a thermal pad problem because it's low power at idle as well. I will agree with that. But if I can get the right thickness thermal pads, there are 3 modules on the back side of the PCB that I would like to stick some thermal pads on there. Might help, might not. So there is a memory controller on there that does get hot, and when it gets hot, it'll start to thermal throttle the whole card. This has been a known issue with some of the GPUs. So I will be going after the memory controller and the power controller too. So Maybe those modules are getting a little, just a scotch too hot, and that's what we're seeing. So I will definitely apply the thermal pads on there as soon as I get them, and I will probably do another video of me taking apart this card a second time. I want to see some kind of improvement before I try to lap the VGA core itself. I do not think that this is a VGA core problem at this point, because if it was a VGA core problem, just by me putting the Thermal Grizzly the Hydronaut on there, I should have seen a improvement. And since I did not see an improvement, I think yes, Joe. Yes, the VRMs could be getting too hot and limiting the power. It still could be an issue. I've only cooled down the one side. I've only helped transfer heat on one side of the VRM. So, yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of the pads and more of them, and we're gonna do a little bit of a deep dive on this. I want to find out why this card is acting so poorly. I believe that I can sit there and with the GPU Jesus touch, get this thing hashing back to the way that it should be. Can I get an FA in the chats? Guys, spam that FA in the chat. Spam it now. Oh, we got an FA. We got one. Come on, guys, spam it. There we go. There's nothing around this card to make it hot. Too funny, Crypto World. Oh, we got the FAs. Because Crypto and Hot Rod is rated F for fucking awesome. Too funny, Chancoin. But you gotta say no homo first, you know. I will... I will get this card fixed, Chancoin. No doubt about it. I will give it the GPU Jesus touch. I mean, it looked like I was on to something. So, I'm gonna go ahead and order up everything I need, and we'll revisit this card. In the meantime, it's gonna stay in the mine and hashing away. I'm just saying. And smash that Lizzie like button, guys, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here. Make sure the bell notifications turned on, guys. We know how YouTube is. I mean, we all know that. So, does anybody got any questions before I head up out of here? And if you guys are ever interested in it, I do have a separate channel on Twitch. Same name, Crypto and Hot Rods, where I do some gaming and crypto talk on there. So you can go ahead and give me a follow on there. Be most appreciated if you guys ever go on to Twitch. I kind of try to keep I do a little bit of gaming on YouTube side, but YouTube complains about if the game I'm playing has music in it. They like to copyright strike you for that shit. Where Twitch, it's not so much of an issue to them. I don't know why that YouTube feels that they need to give content creators such a hard time over a game, but they do. Games, background music, whatever. YouTube likes to mess with people. So, I try to do the bulk of my gaming because I do leave the music on and stuff like that. I try to do that all on Twitch side because Twitch is cool with gamers. YouTube just wants it to be like almost educational stuff on here, so I try to keep the educational side of it over here. I've been doing a bunch of side work, so I haven't been doing as much of the content in the last couple of weeks on here, but I've got a new format that I'm going to be starting up here, and I know, was it Jason? Yes, Jason, I did not overlook your question. How are your E3s doing? So my E3s are doing amazing. I'm getting 200 mega hashes second on each one of the E3s, between like 89 and 210 mega hash on ETC. I was able to reprogram them, which means that they are not ASICs. They're SoC chips with memory modules. This way you know that it's basically a glorified GPU on a hashing board. Too funny, Jason. Joe, water cool it. Yeah, that, I would be cool with water blocking stuff if water blocking wasn't so damn expensive. It's too fucking expensive to just be water blocking a mining rig. Not really worth it. I wish it was worth it. I would do it to all my GPUs if it was cost effective. But it's just not. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to overcome the thermal problems that are on the MSI Trio. The target power point on those things are supposed to be like 320 watts. Mine's not even doing 330 watts. Doesn't even try to do 330 watts. They do know that there is a memory controller issue on these things, but that'll be for another video. I will get this card hashing properly. Mark my words. GPU Jesus will get this hashing the right way, and will show you guys the way of the hash on the MSI Trios. Mark my words. So does any of you guys have any other questions before I head up out of here? And while I'm waiting for you guys to ask some questions, I will more than likely be doing a little bit of gaming tonight on Twitch under Crypto and Hot Rods. So if you guys would enjoy some light crypto talk and some gaming, certainly follow me up over there. Joe, that's not too bad of an idea. That's actually not a bad idea, Joe. He's like, call up their tech support. Maybe they've got a updated BIOS that will help fix the problem, or they might know the problem with this card. Maybe they can sit there and tell me, hey, you need to put pads over the memory module and the power control module, and it'll fix. Yo, Panda, what up? So, yeah, that definitely we're gonna have to address this damn MSI gaming trio, dude. Definitely. I'm not happy with how it's performing. I don't expect anybody to be happy with how these things are performing in any way, shape, or form. To me, it's unacceptable that they're going to make a card like this and oh, really, Red? Check out the FPGA Discord when you're free. Some huge shit is going down. Huh. Really? You can't leave us in suspense. I'm gonna have to, cause like I can't fix the card today because I don't have all the right thermal pads. This was more exploratory. I never opened up one of the 3080s, so I'm used to the 1070s and 1080s. All the thermal pads I have is all for that stuff. Yeah, exactly, Red. Damn thermal pads. Damn, damn, damn. Panda's like, pocket change, you don't want to know. Yeah, let me know where the discussion is being taken place. Which FPGA section is it in? General, simple questions. Is it under Squirrel, Offspray? The Squirrel one. Oh, I got some reading to do. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Man, I hope I get my FPGA before Squirrel becomes insolvent. This is bullshit. Well, as far as that I know with Squirrel, the new Jungle Cats, they've been supposedly having issues with the Jungle Cats, and like they've changed the carrier out on it that holds them, saying that they weren't working right. They supposedly have them fixed, and they supposedly have. Yeah, I have not been happy with the. With my Jungle Cats that I purchased a year ago. It has been a fucking year since I purchased my FPGA from Squirrel. I will be really pissed if I don't get it, because I've been sitting there seeing a few people testing out their Jungle Cats, and I still haven't gotten mine. So I will definitely read this over. Thank you, Panda, for the heads up on this. Like, Squirrel better come through on their customer side and not fucking burn their customers, because, yeah, that was $3,500 worth of Bitcoin that I spent, which now would be like $12,000. Yeah, they should be mad. I'm gonna be really fucking pissed if I'm taking another goddamn hit with Bitcoin. Because this here is what I've tried to purchase so far, and I'm waiting for this fucking thing to come in. This is the new Jungle Cat carrier with the water block already attached onto it. I'm fucking waiting for these. This is what I've been waiting on. Yeah, Joe. It seems like the GPUs are the more favorable way to go. It looks like the FPGA community is a bunch of bullshit at the end of the day. So, does anybody else got any other comments or questions before I hop up out of here? Because I got some reading to do now. Yeah, thanks, Pocket Change. Make a video update or stream tomorrow on my thoughts, for sure. Will you be doing an FPGA your problem? Yeah. For sure, for sure. Alright guys, well with that being said, I'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a good night. May your watts be low and your hash be high. And you guys want to check out some gaming, check me out on Twitch under Crypto and Hot Rods, and I will I meant to say it. Yeah. Yep. Take it easy, everybody. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo!